At least free domains somewhere. Okay, whatever. So if you purchase the domain in Route 53, it will be really helpful to doing the practicals. Otherwise, you can some free domains. Otherwise, you can go for GoDaddy and get the domain. Do you remember on the topics that we have discussed yesterday about Route 53? Yes. So, so in Route 53, one second. Okay, where are you? Where are you? What is that? Oh, that's your website? Nice. See, too good. Mm, okay, the bad guy looks like me somewhat. Okay, nice. So, so guys, if you do you remember the hosted zone? What is a hosted zone? Guys, what is hosted zone? Hosted zone is a container of records. What are the two default records that will get created automatically? NS and SOA records. What are those? NS and SOA records. Okay. So do you remember that we have discussed about the records also? Like a record, CNAME record, alias record. Which one do you prefer? Which record do you prefer? Alias record. So a record is URL to IP address and CNAME is URL to URL, alias URL to any resource. Nice. Okay, so whenever you hit any website, first it will go to the Route 53, and from the Route 53 it goes to the hosted zone, and from the hosted zone it goes to your record, and record from record to ELB, S3, whatever it is. Okay, this is what we have discussed yesterday, and today, guys, we will discuss about something called routing policies. What is that? Routing policies. Routing policies. Okay, where is it? Okay, now. Okay, guys. So here, you know very well that you know the design what I'm gonna do. So let's see here who is latest here, Smita. Okay, let me take Smita. Here I have something called http://smita.com. Yeah. Okay, guys, you tell me here first. So when someone hits smita.com here, it will go first to where? Where does it go, guys? Hmm? Route 53. Okay, it'll go to the Route 53. And from Route 53, it will goes to the hosted zone. It'll go to the hosted zone. So in hosted zone, what do we have inside the hosted zone? Inside the hosted zone, we have records, right? Okay. So let's say here we have, let's say this is Mumbai region. This is Mumbai region. Okay. So in Mumbai region, we know, right? How do we do the load balancer? We load balancer, EC2 instances, guys. We all did everything, right? All these things, EC2, ELB, etc. All these things, ELB, and these are EC2. And you have your index.html or whatever application you have it here. and then load balancer is sending traffic to this and this. This is in Mumbai. Let's say this is in Mumbai region. Okay, now you tell me. So here, okay. So here, guys, in hosted zone, we'll be having a record. What is the record that? So if someone type like smita.com should be pointing to which one? Tell me. Smita.com should be pointing to where? What, guys? ELB DNS name. We are already in Route 53, na? Guys, are you there? So we are already in Route 53 in hosted zone. In hosted zone, we'll create a record, right? If you type smita.com, so it will go to your nasty URL. This one. It'll redirect to this. Yes or no? It is simply routing to this ELB. Do you agree, everyone? You will have a hosted zone called smita.com. Inside that, you will create a record called smita.com, which is routing to ELB DNS name, right? So can we call this, whoever types smita.com, it goes to Route 53 in hosted zone, it will check the record. Oh, smita.com I should be routing to ELB's DNS name. It will be routing to the ELB, and you will have the application here, and you get smita.com. Yes or no, everyone? Is this clear? This part, right? So this is simply we are routing it, guys. Who will do the health checks for this for this application? We know load balancer will do health checks. Load balancer will do, guys. Let's say, for example, if this primary site if this site goes down, smita.com will also go down. Yes or no? Definitely yes. Definitely yes. Guys, we are simply routing it to the ELB. So that first routing policy, what we have is simple routing policy. What is that? Simple routing policy. Simple routing policy. Guys, in this simple routing policy, guys, you tell me if this site is down, do we need backup as per this architecture now? No, na. So here Route 53, if this ELB or EC2 instance, if this goes down, Route 53 will send the request to ELB, and then ELB doesn't respond anything. This meta.com is down. So guys, is there any health checks? You have health checks on the application on EC2 level. Can you tell me here, do you have any health checks on the Route 53 level if smita.com is working or not in this architecture? No. So guys, there are no health checks if you go for simple routing policy. If you go for simple loading policy. So what it would be, guys, do you understood first simple loading policy? You are simply doing, this is simple routing. This is simple routing. You're simply routing to the ELB. Guys, in EC2, we launch an EC2 instance, we'll set up an ELB, right? And we'll get the nasty URL. And how do you do the makeup in Route 53? How? You just give the name and point it to your load balancer. That's how we'll be doing it. Okay, this is simple routing. If you need to have a high availability on your entire site, can I create another one parallel, guys? Can I create another one parallelly? I can create another parallel environment where definitely, come on, definitely here also I can have an say another ELB, and I have this EC2 instances and health checks, everything. Like this, possible? I can have another ELB, and this ELB is in Mumbai with this side, and this one I call it as, maybe I have it in Ireland. So first one is simple routing policy is done. I'm thinking about the next one, guys. Let's say if can I say this Mumbai is as a primary site? So by default, if someone types, someone types smita.com, by default it should do Mumbai. This is called primary site. Just in case if this primary site goes down, can we send it to this guy secondary? We can, na? That will be handled by Route 53. That will be handled by 53. For that, this is called failover routing policy. What is that called, guys? Failover routing policy. For this failover routing policy, Route 53 should understand whether this is working or not, right? Then only it will be failover, right? So that means, do you have health checks for the failover routing policy? Yes, we have a health checks. Yeah. So guys, we have created a record for simple routing policy. Let's create a records for failover routing policy, guys. And what I do is here, smitha.com. This time I'll be sending to the ELB NS name. Guys, can I call this is my primary record? So whoever type smitha.com, primarily it will go to the Mumbai ELB. Do you agree? Everyone, do you agree, guys? See how we are architecting it. Nice. This is primary record. Should we go and create another record also? Smitha.com. Guys, can you tell me the DNS smitha.com should change from customer point of view? No. So this time I'll go for Ireland ELB DNS name. This time this is called, this is what? Secondary record. So we will create a records like this, and then this is called failover routing policy. Guys, here please concentrate. We have discussed two routing policies. One is simple routing policy. What is simple routing policy? A request will come and send it to the balancer. That's all. That is called simple routing policy. If you need something called failover, there is no backup. Yeah. If you need failover, how many records that you should create it here? Two records now. One is smitha.com. One primarily will send it to the Mumbai. Just in case if this Mumbai goes down, and whenever the request come here, Route 53 will send to the secondary record, which is Ireland one. And how do you achieve that? Using failover routing policy. Make sense? Is it clear, guys? Everyone? Is it clear, everyone? Question here is it possible to create multiple records with the same name? Smitha.com? Yes, but remember the value should be different. The value should be different. You can create multiple records with the same name, but the value should be different or unique. Okay, you cannot create smitha.com with another Mumbai ELB. No, with the same Mumbai ELB. No, you cannot create that. You can have another ELB. The value should be unique. Value should be unique. Okay, so guys, so if you have this failure routing policy, your site will go down anytime. Your site will go down. Definitely it will not go. Definitely it will not go down. Because just in case if the primary site is down, you have created another record as secondary record, then directly it will same smitha.com will be sending to the same application, same concept. You have two duplicate environments. Guys, have you heard about maintenance page? If my primary site goes down also, can I have a maintenance page? For this maintenance page, do I need to go for EC2? Can I create a small bucket? Guys, can I create a small bucket? A bucket and put maintenance.html and then enable static website hosting. Remember, did we enable that? Did we work on that, guys? S3 bucket. You create a bucket. Inside that you put something called maintenance.html and you enable static website hosting. You enable static website hosting. Guys, and then create a record. Guys, instead of, see, primary record is Mumbai. Now, can I, if Mumbai, if this goes down, if my primary site goes down, you can send it to the parallel environment also, you can send it to the S3 also. Possible. And if you send to S3, you will get a nice maintenance page. This, see, for one HTML page, do it to go for EC2 instance? No. We know that S3 supports static web hosting. You put that and you'll get it. But do we need to create another record? Yes. Yes. Primary ELB, guys, primary record is Mumbai ELB only. And secondary record, you can go for either Ireland ELB, or you can create another one called smita.com, which is pointing to S3 endpoint. S3 endpoint. This is a secondary record. That's why I said it, put it or. Guys, is this clear on simple routing policy and failover routing policies, everyone? So, and in practicals, what we do is we will set it up this ELB EC2 our index.html, where initially we worked on EC2, right? The same thing, and we'll try to do simple routing policy to the makeup. And also I'll create a bucket and then I'll put maintenance.html and I'll try to stop through EC2 instance. I should receive maintenance.html. Guys, is this clear, everyone? How about others, guys? Nice. Uh, this is simple routing policy and failover routing policy. Simple routing policy and failover routing policy. And then, interestingly, we also have another routing policy, which is called geolocation routing policy. What is that, guys? Geolocation routing policy. Okay, now bear with me. I need to draw something here. So this is let's write the region names. This is Ireland. This is Canada. This is US. This is Sydney. And this is Tokyo. Okay. So guys, my application is in Mumbai. Guys, can you tell me here, whoever is typing, my application is Mumbai here. Sai Krupa. So I put it Sai. So if someone is typing http://sai.com, right? So as my application is in Mumbai, directly it will go here and they will fetch it. Can you tell guys, those who are accessing from India, for them, they will have a low latency and high latency here. Low latency. Can you tell me guys, all these other guys will have high latency or low latency? Those who are connecting from all the way from Tokyo, all the way from Sydney. For them, they have what? High latency. Can you tell me how to solve this problem for other guys? Excellent. You have a concept called CDN. You have a concept called CDN, but I don't want to go for the CDN. In that case, every region should have their own application or not? Yes. Every region will have their own application if you don't want to go for the CDN. Okay. So someone want to access, let's say, if US guy wants to access sai.com, he should get it from US or Canada or Mumbai? From the US only, right? So guys, based on user's location, if you want to route based on user's location, route 53 will route to the respective records. I'll tell about this. So here is, so this geolocation routing policy is based on user's location. If the user is in Ireland, he will receive the Ireland application. If the user is in Canada, he will receive the Canada application. Guys, remember, but the URL should be same or different? URL should be same. Definitely. So US guy, if he type i.com, he should get the US application. If he type of Canada guy's application, he'll get the same application, right? Nice. Now, how many records I need to create in Route 53? Tell me, based on this architecture, how many records I need to create? Guys, how many records I need to create? Excellent. 6 records you need to create. So I need to create something called sai.com, which is pointing to Mumbai, right? Mumbai, EAB, or you can go with the IP, right? So he'll send it to Mumbai, and then he send it to. So I need to create Tokyo. I need to create Sydney. I need to create it for US. I need to create it for Canada. I need to create it for Ireland. See, I need to create here 6 records. So side this Route 53 has an intelligence automatically. Guys, Route 53 has an intelligence automatically to route it to the, if anyone is accessing sai.com in India, it will route to Mumbai. If anyone accessing from US, it will route to US. So US CLB. They will have the respective ELBs or IP addresses. Is this clear? Geolocation routing policy, it is based on user location. The Route 53 will be redirecting to it. Guys, is that clear? Nice. Right. And then you have something called latency based routing policy. Is that latency based? Previous one is geolocation, and this one is latency. So let's see what is latency here. And you should answer this. Let's say this is Mumbai. So everyone will have the application. Every region will have application. And this is Mumbai. This is Sydney. This is US. This is Canada. And this is Ireland. And this guy is Tokyo. Okay, guys. So here, the person is sitting in US with the laptop, right? And then from here, uh, he's typing who is here, Ramesh. Let's say, for example, or I'll take Smita only here. So http:// smita.com. Whenever you type smita.com, okay, see here. Um, okay, so yeah. So this is taking 40 seconds to load. This is taking 2 minutes to load, and this is taking 1 minute to load. Mumbai wala is taking 50 seconds to load, and Tokyo wala is taking only 10 seconds to load, and this is 20 seconds to load. Guys, can you tell me here, the guy is accessing from US. Can you tell me here into which location that US guy will be connected? Smita.com. Tell me, guys. You there? Guys, this is latency based. Those who said US, guys, this is not. The previous one is geolocation. If you set up geolocation routing policy, then it will go to US. Now this is latency based routing policy. Doesn't matter where he's connecting from. Route 53 will connect to the one which has a low latency. That meaning it will be connected to the Tokyo. And here also, how many records we need to create in Route 53? Yes, we need to create here again 6 records, same smitha.com. So guys, if we need to have a latency based related, latency based is whoever has a low latency, doesn't matter, it doesn't matter about the region, it will be connect throughout the regions. But usually, I just gave an example, usually the location latency will be low in the US only, but there is a high cases that might be connected to a different location. So Route 53 will check the latency, those whichever region has a low latency, the user will get connected. That is called latency based routing policy. Is this clear? Latency based routing policy, guys. Nice. And we have jujube things that we no need basically, but we have something called multi-value routing policy. Not used, but yeah, multi-value routing policy basically is same as simple routing policy, guys. In simple routing policy, do we have health checks? Yes or no? But this guy multi-value routing policy has a health checks. That's the only difference. And then we have something called weighted routing policy. Weighted routing policy is also very simple. So it just like if the user is connecting, you have an EC2 instances. 1, 2, 3. Right. Where are the EC2s? EC2 instances. So weighted routing policy meaning it will be connected. You can distribute the traffic based on the percentage. So you can say that only 40% of the traffic should go to the EC2. Only 40% of the traffic should go to the EC2. Only 50% of the traffic should go to the this EC2, and only 10% should be sending to the EC2. So you can route the request based on the percentage also. That is called weighted routing policy. So mainly here it is simple routing policy, failover routing policy, geolocation, and latency. These 4 are usually very, very important. Guys, is this clear, everyone? These are the routing policies. Clear? Are you ready for the demo? Should we go? So what we do is, guys, here, do you remember we launched the EC2 instance with the load balancer nasty URL, and we'll try to do the makeup. That will be simple routing policy. Yes or no? Yes. So let's go and quickly launch an EC2 instance. And let's see one by one that routing and how do we create records, etc. and all. So guys, what I do is let's go to EC2 And then you know well how to do this. So let's go and launch into EC2 instance. Okay. Let's launch into EC2 instance and put some user data there. T2 micro. I'll put it in 1A. Enable it. So we need to have so I'll take our user data and then okay. So this is my website using Route 53. Okay. So next, I call it as server 1. Next, review it and then okay. And then parallelly, I'm going launching another. We should have two EC2 instances na, for load balancer. So guys, you know already all these things. Yes, you have habituated with all these things. Name server 2. So I just wanted to show you how to do the makeup there for nasty URL with 53. So those are cooking. So meanwhile, we need to go and set up the load balancer also. Let's create a load balancer, application load balancer. I call it as my ELB. And then I'll put it in 1A and 1B. Next, 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 web server target group. And here I put index.html. And then next, these two EC2 instances should be registered. Next. And then we need to wait a bit, right? So those has to be, let's wait a bit. You understood what I did, guys? So number one is passed. So let's cross check whether it works or not. Yes, it is working. That meaning the second guy will also work soon. So I think I can go ahead and create the load balancer. Now we'll access our website using this nasty URL, right? And this nasty URL, what we do is we'll do the makeup in Route 53. That is a concept. Let's wait until it is active. Guys, looks, I just heard like again this Corona stuff is coming. Is that correct? Mm-hmm. Nasty. Cases are increasing. Yeah, I heard that in Hyderabad it's closed. Yeah, I have my colleague in Mumbai. It's too bad in Mumbai at the moment. It's so many variants and yeah. Tomorrow Bharat Banda about on what? Oh, steel plant. Okay, Vizag. Yeah. Okay, so this is active now. Let's go and access this. Yeah, we are online only, no? Doesn't matter. Okay, so guys, do you see this? Is it good to have to give this kind of URL to your customer? No. So now let's go to Route 53. So let's go to Route 53 and we'll just try to do the makeup. How? Let's see. So guys, I told you that it's how to they should do Bharat when in online. Karuna, go Karuna, right? Yeah. Okay, see here. So here, I have already registered a domain called Riaz AWS Trainer. I want to go my back old console. So guys, here, see those who have registered the domain from Route 53, they no need to create a hosted zone. But those who have domain outside, we need to create a hosted zone. Did we discuss this? Yes. So click on create hosted zone. Let's say, for example, here I have something called srikant.com. Let's say you purchase this same, just remember, if you have purchased the domain in the GoDaddy, you should create this with the same name, not even one letter wrong, right? And then here, do you remember how many types of hosted zones are there? Two, public and private. Which one we should select? Click and then create it. Did we also learn whenever you create a hosted zone, whenever you create a hosted zone, what are the two records that will get created? NS record and SOA record. Did we also learn that NS record is nothing but pool of servers? So guys, those who have registered the domain in GoDaddy or some other one, you take this one by one NS records and then you need to update it in your domain in GoDaddy, wherever it is, right? That is what you need to do, those who are outside Route 53, but I don't want to use because I have my own domain here. Okay, this is the domain. This domain also have my NS record and SOI records. Guys, do you understand how to create a hosted zone? It's very simple. Go and create a hosted zone there, and then add those NS records in your GoDaddy. Okay. Okay. Now let's click on create record. We need to create records. Did we learn that DNSS is all about records? So click on create record here on the right side, guys. This is my domain name. This is my naked domain. Can I call this Riaz AWS Trainer is naked domain? Yes. So now I'll show you. I want to do make up for this URL. So my URL should be something called simple.riazawstrainer.com is my website name. Okay. So give the website whatever the name that you want to have. This is a subdomain. And guys, did we learn about a record, CNAME, these things? Select a record all the time. Do you want to select alias yes or no? Alias should be selected yes or no? Alias should be always selected. Select alias yes. Guys, if you don't select alias yes, you need to give the IP address over here. Because a record is this URL to IP address. But if you select alias yes, target is already here. See? If you are targeting the load balancer or S3 endpoints and all these things, you select alias yes. But if you want to use IP address, select no and give the IP address here. Is this clear? Do you understand when to select alias? If you select alias, you directly have load balancer here. Select that load balancer. If you select no, you need to give the IP address of the instance. Okay, I'm selecting the load balancer. See, routing policy. Did we learn simple latency, failover, geo, all these things? Let it simple routing policy. So guys, here evaluate health checks. I said no, but yes, there is no option to create our own health checks. AWS will give the health checks, but on the left side, you can also create your own health checks, but you cannot assign the health checks here. But I'll show you how to create health checks, no problem. But do you understand? Take the photo of this. This is how you will be creating a records. Give the name here and then select a record, alias yes, select the load balancer, routing policy simple, and click on create. Yeah, there is no health checks. These are the health checks provided by AWS, Route 53. We can create our own health checks and we can assign it here, but that is not there. That's what I mean. Guys, now should I access my website? Simple dot, what is that? Uh, simple dot riaz aws trainer.com. See, boom. Do you see this? How did I do the makeup? And this is my website now. Is this clear? Simple routing policy. Guys, everyone, please. Do you understand how to create a record and use simple routing policy? Okay. And now that is about the simple routing policy, which we have just sent the simple routing policy here. Should we work on failover policy, guys? Anyways, my primary site is ready. Should go and create another bucket and put maintenance.html. And then if my website is down, I should get a maintenance page. Should we do that? Yes. So guys, do you agree this here? I already have the environment, the one left side environment. Yes or no? And I did the simple routing policy. It's done. So what I do is, that is how the simple routing policy is. I select this and I delete it. We are done with simple routing policy. And now I'll show you failover routing policy. For this failover routing policy, I already have this environment. I create my secondary environment. Guys, you can go and create a parallel environment like this also. Launch another ELB in Ireland, another EC2 is like this. And then this can be a secondary one. Or you can have S3 as a secondary one. Both are should be fine. As I have created this already, I'm going with this something different like S3 bucket. So let's go to S3. Okay. Before going to that, guys, here in Route 53, should we go and create a record called this time my website name is failover. Failover.riazawstrainer.com. And alias yes, which is my primary site. ELB or not? Okay, I'll come back to this maybe. I don't know whether you guys are understanding or not. Guys. So, okay. So here I'll create a bucket. I'll make my secondary site ready first. Guys, here, remember, whenever you're creating a bucket, make sure that bucket should be same as your website name. Okay. What is the website name that we thought? failover.awstrainer.com. This is a website, right? Or I can call it as Smita. We use Smita, right? Smita.riazawstrainer.com. That's a domain. Okay. So whatever the website that you use, you should create with the same name. And I created in Mumbai. Guys, you need to have the website hosting. That meaning it should be public or private. Check or uncheck. Public. So uncheck it. Wait, and then create a bucket. And then inside this, I need to get a maintenance.html page, right? Uh, okay. There is a maintenance page here already created, a small HTML file. I'll just go and drag it here. I upload it. What's the next step here? Should I make it public? Yes, make public. And should I go and enable static website hosting? Yes, go here and bottom, enable static website hosting. Edit it, edit. And what is the name? Maintenance.html. Save. And I have the URL, right? So I'll just check whether this URL is working or not. Yes, this URL is working, right? Okay, I'll close this URL now. Guys, do you understood? Do I have my primary site and the second site ready now? Which is my primary site, ELB or S3? Which is my primary site, ELB or S3? ELB. Secondary site? Nice. So now let's go to Route 53 and how many records we need to create for failover routing policies? How many records I should create for failover routing policy? For fail routing policy, how many regions do we have? You need to create two now, guys. Where is the logic, guys? 1 and 2. That's all. We are not talking about geo and latency. We are still with failure policy. Which is your primary site? ELB. Which is your secondary site? S3. How many records you should create? Only 2. So here, create record. What is the website name that we have used? Smita, right? Smita riazawstrainer.com. Okay. Guys, I need to hard reload this once because it has to take the endpoints. So create, and I call it as Smita. And here, which is your primary site? First record, S3 or ELB? Select ELB. And then routing policy, which one you select here? Failover routing policy. Nice. And which one is record? ELB is your primary or secondary? Primary. Give the name, something called Smita primary something record. You can give any name here. And evaluate. Do you need health? Yes or no for failovers? Yes. Guys, associate health checks. This is what I'm talking about. Here, you can have your own health checks. But for now, this itself will go and do and check it. Let's take a photo here or a note here. Guys, for failover routing policy, how do we do this? Give the name, alias, select the primary one, and then set it, evaluate target health checks, and then create it. Do we need to add one more record? Do you need to create one more record, guys? Yes. What is the name? Same name. But this time, alias, this time, which one I need to use? S3. Very good. And this is failover. And this is primary or secondary? Secondary. Evaluate target and create. Nice. Do you see this? Now I have created two records, guys. One is this one, which is primary record, and second one is secondary. That meaning whoever types smita.riazawstrainer.com, first the route 53 will send to primary record, and if that fails, if this fails, then it will go to the secondary record. Yes. Should we access smita.riaz, right? smita.riazawstrainer.com. Do you see this now? It is going to my ELB. Yes or no? Everyone. Yes. So now what I do is I'll go and stop this 2EC2 instance. And this page, same URL. Now I should get here. Yes. I should get maintenance page. Let's see. Because Route 53 will check. We have selected the health checks there. Route 53 will check the health checks whether that ELB is working or not. And if you have stopped these two things, now guys, automatically that URL will get the maintenance page automatically. Route 53 will do that, guys. Route 53 will do that. That's because here we have given the memory, and Route 53 will understand. Oh, my prime is down because you have selected the health target here. Yes. And then if Route 53 identifies the primary record is down, and automatically Route 53 will send the same URL because we have given the same name here, same URL to the secondary site. Let's go and refresh this. Do you see that? Do you got maintenance page now? Server down, work in progress. We'll get back soon. Guys, these are all the real-time scenarios that we will be doing it in our companies. So our website, you should not get page not found. Instead of that, you can give this maintenance button. Keep this in mind. The URL should not change. Clear on failover routing policies? Don't worry. I have written a nice document for this. You can reproduce all these things step by step. Nice. Okay. So now I'll go and terminate and free everything, free up everything. Terminate this. The next is geolocation policy. Guys, anyone in this from outside India at the moment? Which location? No one outside India, guys? No one, huh? Then, okay. So if you want to try this geolocation routing policy, let's do this, guys. We'll create one this index.html in Mumbai, and then we'll create another thing in Ireland. Okay, whoever accesses from India should get Mumbai, and whoever accesses from Ireland, they should get Ireland page. Should we do this? Let's do that funnily. So let's launch an EC2 instance freshly, guys. Guys, do you understood what I'm gonna do? Here, guys, in Mumbai, this is, yes, launching, right? This is, I call it as this is from Mumbai. Right? We should know na from where it is coming. I write this. This is from Mumbai. Next, next name. I call it as Mumbai. Next, review, and then launch. Guys, I have created one server. In this time, I'll show you. I have shown you already with the load balancer. Now I will show you with the IP address. Okay. Now this is coming up. So in which is okay. Now I need to go and create in which location, guys? I'll go to Ireland, and then I launch one more EC2 instance there. And I'll show you how to set up. And I'm done with this too. And in Ireland, I'm launching another EC2 instance. Next, put it in 1A. This time I call it, this is from land, I'll say. Okay. Next, doesn't matter. Review and then launch. So I'll check security groups. Security groups HTTP should be allowed, right? Yeah, in HTTP should be allowed in Ireland also. Okay. So guys, so what we're gonna do is here, I have launched one EC2 instance in Mumbai, another EC2 instance in Ireland. Hmm? Now, anyone from Ireland, now I'll go to Route 53 and I'll configure geolocation routing policy, the website. And the same website, if I access from India, from here, I should get it from Mumbai EC2 instance. And the same URL, if someone is accessing from Ireland, they should get it from Ireland EC2 instance. But do you have anyone in Ireland? No, no. In that case, what we do is another chance is, can we launch another Windows EC2 instance and log in there? And that is the Ireland machine, right? Do you understand that point? When you are launching and logging into this Ireland machine, that is an Ireland machine only, na? So I'll just quickly go ahead and then launch one Windows machine just to access those. Guys, I don't know whether you're getting it. Nice. So this is Windows machine. Just want to cross check because usually in my batch, people will be there from different countries. So I would ask them to check it. But as we don't have anyone, I'm just launching an EC2 instance in Ireland and I log into this Windows machine. Virtually, I will be in Ireland, right? Yeah. So guys, so let's check with the IP address whether it is working or not. First of all, this is working. And this guy is still cooking. Okay. Meanwhile, should we go and create a records, guys? How many records I should create in this case? Excellent. Two. And what is the website name? Should I call it as Geo? Okay, Geo. And I have now I want to give you with the IP address, guys, with the IP address. That meaning I need to select alias yes or no. Nice. Alias no. TTL, let it be minimum time to live. And I'll put it my Mumbai IP address. And I put it as here geolocation. And which location is this server, guys? India. Select the India and give it as India geo record something. Give any name. Health check, yes. Health checks, no needs. Yeah. Do you understood how I have done, guys? Geo, I have given this Mumbai IP address. Geolocation, give the India region. And should I create the same thing? Geo. And this time, which IP address I need to select? Ireland wala. Select Ireland, but make sure this Ireland is working. Hmm. Security groups. What's wrong? Sometimes, come on. So the security groups are good. 4080. I put that. Should I do that? And Ireland, this guy, and we have user data, na? I put the user data. risky. So if I, maybe it is cached, maybe my machine issue. So what we can do is security groups. For now, I'll enable all traffic anywhere. Guys, can you access this URL? Can you tell me for you it is working or not? http:// and this. Can you access this? Not working? What's wrong? Okay, let me quickly go and launch one more then. I'll put it in 1A, enable it, and then I put this, and I call this is from Ireland. C2. Next, next, next. Okay. Interesting. Let's wait a bit. But why the hell this is not working? Hmm. Anyways, so my idea is here, guys. We have created this one, and then we need to create one record, right? And this time, this IP address will take the new one, new IP address, this guy, and then we'll try to create a record here called same geo, and I put my Ireland geolocation, and I select Ireland. I just give Ireland geo some name here, and then create it. So, guys, if I access geo dot Riaz AWS trainer.com, which one I should get, Mumbai or Ireland? Srikanth, how come Ireland? Yeah, I am in India. Geolocation, right? This is from Mumbai. I got it. Right? This is my Mumbai. I got it. See here. So the same URL, if any Ireland people access it, they should get it from Ireland region. So the only thing is I just wanted to with IPS. Is this working now? It is cooking still. Guys, anyways, do you understood this concept? We tried latency-based routing policy. Latency-based meaning you have to create in different regions. Basically, one second. So let's say, guys, create basically 3 different EC2 instances. Okay, 3 different EC2 instances in 3 different regions. Let it be from one is from Canada, one is from Mumbai, and one you can go with the Tokyo. Okay, and put the index.html call. This is from Canada, right? Here you put it. This is from Mumbai. and you can put like this is from Tokyo, the user data, right? These are all user data. You have EC2 instance with, right? And now you launch an EC2 instance in US. You're getting it? So one Windows machine, that's how I have launched it in Ireland. So this is the EC2 instance, and this is in US region, right? And then guys, here you need to create how many records in Route 53? Yeah, 3 records. 3 records saying that latency.boom.com something, right? And then should be pointing to which one? Canada IP. The same way you need to create 3 one is Canada IP, one is Mumbai IP, one is Tokyo IP. And guys, whenever you're creating, this should be, we just created geolocation, right? You need to select latency. Latency policy, you need to select it here. And whenever you create this and whenever you test, do the test here. Do the test here in this. How you type something called latency.com, latency.http latency.boom.com. Now see from US where it will get connected. Whether it will get connected to here or here or here, it is depend upon the latency. Route 53 will check the latency on it. Uh-huh. There is a problem there, maybe. Just take it light. So guys, you understand this? Will you able to do the practicals on this, guys? By the way, if you want to do the practicals, you have to have the domain first. Let's take the photos. So Srikanth, send me an email. I have a Lalli. You are asking first material. Srikanth, can you share that to Lalli? Right. And then Srikanth, send me an email. I'll send you the step-by-step process of how we have done this one, and you can try to replicate this. Guys, deal? Everyone, is this clear till here, everyone? Guys? Nice. Take the photos and let me know once done. Done. The second one. Done. Third one. And then fourth one, if you want to test. Great. So guys, give me the final CC for today on this Route 53 topic. Nice. And tomorrow, don't miss the class, because if you tomorrow miss the guys, BPC, you don't understand. So tomorrow is a very, very important class. If you miss tomorrow's class, BPC is very difficult to understand. Don't miss the class. And tomorrow we'll talk about the BPC. Guys, that is all for today, and I'll see you tomorrow with the next topic. Until then, take care, have a nice day, and good night. Good night.